Nice. All right, how's everybody doing out there? We've got this, we're in the matrix now. We've got it all figured out. How's everybody doing? Might nudge this guy over just a tiny bit. No, I'm not going to touch that at all. It's just going to fall over somehow. Yep, there it goes. Okay, how's that looking? That's looking all right. We can see things, we can hear things. How's everybody doing out there? Thanks for hanging in there. Okay. I'm the music theory wizard. This is my student Kyle. We're going to work on some stuff. What's your first question there, Kyle? Do you have anything you want to start with?
So, on the amp, is it better to have all your volume up on the guitar for the pickups and just volume on the amp?
I like all these questions. Can you turn up, Kyle, on your side just a little bit? Yeah, okay, so that's a good question. So this guitar is really hot. Like if I right now I'm on a clean setting, and if I've got my volume full, even on my lighter pickup, my back pickup is just like a gnarly beast, and this guy here is like not quite as aggressive. I could probably make this guitar distort just because it puts out such a strong signal from the guitar itself. Sounds pretty good. It's not really breaking up. But so it's sending out not that, but if I go down like this, if I go to my bridge pickup, it gets pretty barky pretty quick. So what I'm looking to do is I'll keep my guitar generally at 100. If you're finding that your guitar is not distorting on clean, if it is, if you're on a clean setting, you're getting distortion, then I'd take your guitar down. That's the first thing I would do.
It's not showing you live on kick either.
That's okay. It should be. It looks like it's rolling. It feels like it always takes a few minutes there. None of my OBS shows that I'm live. None of it. I can feel it though. I can feel that I'm live. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm live. It's working.
Live on. Perfect.
Do we have audio? I'm just gonna check. I think so. I don't know what I was messing with there. Cool. Hello, how's everybody doing out there? I'm just doing the old is it working? The old is it working? Oh geez. Wait. There we go. Okay. Cool, we're good. I can't believe it. All the things are working, I think. Okay, so your question was just about volumes and where to put your guitar versus your amp volume and all that kind of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so most electrics, I'm going to keep my volume pegged at 10. If I want to have a good distortion sound, you typically have a level, like a volume, a gain, and then you have like what I'm trying to say here, like highs, mediums, and low, kind of like EQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Treble, mid, bass kind of thing.
Yep.
Or what kind of sound are you going for?
Let's say if I wanted.
You want it clean? Clean, I'd probably go something like, I'd watch my highs. So on this guitar, on most, like you've got a fairly similar layout to this, like two pickups, right? Like you got two humbuckers.
Yep.
I think, yeah. And yeah. So what I would do is if I'm clean, I'd stay away from the bridge. The bridge is going to give me a really whiny tone that I'm going to have to try to avoid. Like if I'm playing here and I play a chord. I have to tell you, this guitar is not too whiny. But the bridge is always going to give you a brassier tone. So what I would do is I'd take my tone knobs down a little bit. Like this guy here would be the top one here. So I'd take that down a little bit. And that would help it out if I was on the bridge. If I'm on the neck, there's no limit to how warm the sucker is. So I could just crank everything on full tone and it sounds nice and warm still. Where on a Strat, that could rip your face off. So that, as far as clean, that's what I do. On distortion, if you've got yourself like a little amp, or let's say you got like a little practice amp, then for distortion, what I would do is I would, let me think here. I would try a few things out EQ-wise. So I would have my gain practically pegged, probably my gain like 10.
Okay.
And I put my level to 1 or 0.
level on the guitar.
Yeah, no, the level in the amp. So you'd have your gain at like 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd have your level or your volume at like 1, just to start with.
Okay.
Now you could do like a classic 80s curve where you could put your highs on 10, your medium on 0, like your mid on 0, and then your lows on 10. That's like a real 80s smiley EQ thing that works on a lot of small amps. It's kind of a dirty trick, but it works pretty nice. Thanks for swinging by. Pardon me?
What's the overdrive?
Probably gain. It probably means gain.
Well, I have gain and overdrive.
Is it like a button, or do you have like an overdrive knob?
Overdrive knob. I have
Well, you have which one?
the mini orange.
The mini orange. Okay, so that they must just have a dirtier setting then. I don't know. Does it just add distortion? Probably. You have a gain knob and an overdrive knob?
Yeah.
That's wacky. Yeah, that's super wacky.
It does. It adds a lot more distortion.
Yeah, I bet it does. If you put your gain at 10 and your volume at like 2, is it just super distorted or not really? It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be super distorted. Probably if you went your gain at like 4, then crank the overdrive and see if you like that sound better.
It's a lot cleaner.
Yeah, it might just be like a different kind of thing. A lot of overdrive pedals, the difference if we're talking distortion, overdrive, all that kind of stuff. Excuse me, I wouldn't doubt if that overdrive would perform more like a tube screamer. And by a tube screamer, the harder you play, the more distortion you get.
Yes.
So that overdrive might be like loud and clean, unless you whap your guitar, then it gives you some bite. Orange is the weirdest amp manufacturer as far as their choices. They'll do something that like is a really like colored sound. If you notice, this isn't an orange behind me. It's actually like a Mesa Boogie Mark V with an orange speaker set.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not even an orange. It sure looks like it, but it sure looks like it. I don't know how many times on stage people are like, nice orange, and I'm like, you're not really a guitar player. That's my answer. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, that's a Mark V Mesa Boogie, which is kind of like I think it was sent here straight from the devil. He's like, this is the perfect amp, in my opinion. So, and I've got 3 ways on the amp itself, 3 ways alone to boost my signal, like with my feet. I've got a solo button. I've got 2 sets of distortion. So I can like, just with the amp head alone, I can boost my signal 3 times, which is important to guitar players. You got to have multiple layers of making yourself louder at an instant, right, at all times. You have to, the last thing you want to do as a sound guy to have any sort of opinion on what you're planning to do with, if you're chilling in the chat, feel free to say hi. Ask a question. Okay, so anyway, so that's what I would do. As far as your setup goes, amps are like, you can kind of fuck with it a little bit, but I would be like lots full gain and then just very low volume, and then bring your volume up. Like right now, my gain's at like 1 for this clean. Kind of a thing like that. So that'd be kind of my first tip. The next thing I would try on a smaller amp, by smaller I mean like less than 12 inches speaker, is I would try the treble on 10, the mid on 0, and the bass on 10. I like I got your background and your American Eagle. Your that's all I got in my shot there. It's kind of funny. Hey, I should be happy all these camera angles are working, right? That's why I should be happy, is that there's nothing frozen. That's what's really important. All right. Okay, what do you want to jump into first? Anything you've been practicing or working on that you had a question about?
No, the runs you were showing me before, I forget the name of it.
Were they like scale shapes, or were they like?
Yeah.
Were they like this? And that kind of stuff, or do you remember which one? Okay.
I don't remember which one.
Let's just pick one. We'll just go over one of them. You can see this okay? That's not too bad. The stream shot looks pretty good. When I get the lighting super dialed, I'm going to make it look really, really ridiculous. Like really sexy. Meaning that your shot will continually get worse and worse and worse. Right, that's just how it's going to go. Okay, so if we've got ourselves, we're going to start here on we'll go on the D string on the 7th fret. And we're just going to do 3 notes on the D string going 7, 5, 7. And I'm going to go up, down, up with my picking. So it's going to go up on, the first one's up, which is weird. And And I've always got, whenever I do anything distorted or that's going to be kind of intentionally for like a solo-y type thing, you're going to have a tiny bit of palm mute. Because as you move through the strings, then you're going to get like a rising level of background noise. If somebody does a fast run across 6 strings, you can bet there's a bit of palm mute on just about everything. So we're going to go like this. I'll have up, down, up. Just like that. That's just going 7, 5, 7. I don't know if I can hear your guitar at all.
Trying to find a pick. I don't use them. I forget you love picks.
You don't use it? Oh, you have to have a pick for this. Oh, yeah. Why don't we look at this? Do you have a pick?
I'm going to grab one.
Yeah, go get one. Yeah. Alrighty, how's everybody doing out there? I'm going to sit here.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going through. We've got ourselves a pick. Let's go over how to hold a pick properly. I was holding a pick improperly for like, a cool 25 years or so. Yeah, just like that. Just like that's totally wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do, that's exactly right. It's the wrong way to do it. So I took the pick, and I was just watching a lot of my ridiculous shredder friends. Everybody's doing the same thing. They got their pick on the side of their finger like this. It's going to feel like shit for about 2 months. That's how it was for me. So I literally went from holding a pick like this for 20-something years to just going like that on the side of my finger. And what it does is in front of your guitar, it just gives you less opportunity to rotate, turn, angle, maneuver that pick at all. So it just kind of puts it in a spot like that. So what we're looking for good picking is we really want to just go and have the same kind of stroke every time. I've got I've got an angle like that on my pick too. Like it's not dead straight at all. It's definitely on an angle. It's on the side of my finger. And one thing you can practice is you can go like this. You could do groups of 2, groups of 4, groups of 3, just going like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like down, up, or down, up, down. So you have a very good control over like how many pick strokes you're doing. So you could go like 1, 2, and... Can you hear that at all? I guess you can. Oh, you got my feed from the big knob. That's pretty sweet. So you'd have like that kind of thing. So you could go like 1, 2, and triple it, 4 E and a 1, 2, and triple it. Just getting used to like how many times you're going to pick. In fact, you could go like 2, 2, and then skip a string and go 2, 2. That's really useful practice. It doesn't seem like much, but you could just sit there holding your strings so they're muted, or you could play it. I don't know, whatever you like. And you could just go from like the E string to the D string to the A string to the G string, going like. Those are all downstrokes going down, 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 down. Like that kind of thing. You could take any chord shape. Do you have like a favorite chord shape around the 5th fret there?
Nope.
Okay, so we're going to try this guy here. We're going to go 5, 7, 6, 7, like that. Everybody. So there's no bar. We're just going like everybody's on the tips of their fingers, just like that. This would be called the D major 7 chord. It's prettier than most of the things you play, probably. But it's a very pretty chord. Sounds like this. Ooh, it's got some spice there. So what we're going to do is we're going to play each note twice and just run down from the A string to the B string. So we're going like... Just give that a shot there. So I'm just holding like that. So I'm going 5, 5, 7, 7, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5. You can hold your fingers in place too, like this, if you want to. And just trying to be like accurate with it. So I'm going 5, 7, 6, 7. So I got this guy here on the B string there at the very bottom there. Just like that. So then my picking, I'm just going 2 on each note. I'm going like 5, 5, 7, 7, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 6, 7, 7, 5, 5. And you could kind of make different riffs out of it. You could skip strings. You can go like this. Ah, jeez. And just trying to get it so you're going down, up, down, up. And the whole goal here is that every pick stroke is the same. Like that. So there's going to be no thought. And you'll see that I'm not going to do this with my fingers. I'm really looking at everything's off the wrist. And there's like no variation there. There's nothing exciting going on with my picking. There's nothing that's going to like make it better. You know what I mean? I just want to go like that. And the nice thing is that if you're holding your pick like this, you're also kind of in the best tremolo picking situation you could be in. If you're holding your pick just like this, to go from something that's nice and slow like this to kind of speeding it up, there's like no new way that I'm gripping my pick to do that. I used to go like this. When I held it like this, I'd go like this. And then to speed up, I would turn the pick like that. That's a bit dramatic how I did it, but I'd turn the pick like that and go. And I can still do it pretty quick, but it's just garbage compared to picking like this. There's just so much more control, right? I don't need to adjust my hand. I don't need to do anything weird. So what I'd find is I'd play these blocky phrases where I'd want to go fast for a second. Whoop, I got to flip my pick, do some fasting, and then whoop, got to get it back. Where in the proper way here, I could go like 1, 2, 3, 4. I just grab it. I don't even think about it. And it's definitely put my overall like level, like speed up by holding it this way. I don't get paid to hold the pick this way, but if there was somebody that wanted to pay me to do that, I'm a full-on sponsor of holding the pick on the side of your finger, and it feels like shit for about 2 months. But what'll happen is you'll have these little breakthroughs where you're playing, and you'll say, that was the fastest I've ever played that. Like even something like this where we're going like 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of a thing. That guy there. That would have been one I showed you for sure. And you'll see that this pinky, pardon me?
I've done that one where you go up and back.
Yeah. And you'll see this pinky, if we can keep that guy bent instead of straight, like that, if we can just keep it bent even, like that, just close and bent. Even that's not too bad. Even though you see it kicking all over the place there. That'd be like my worst habit, is that pinky. But that's my argument is the pinky doesn't sound as good as the other 3 fingers. And there's a lot of great guitar players that would agree with that. Like Slash and Eric Clapton. I don't know if there's any others. All right, so this finger drill that we kind of started there was going 7, 5, 7 like this. And we're going to do 3 notes. We're going to go up, down, up with our pick. It's going to sound like this. Just like that. Can I hear you at all? I don't know. Would I only be hearing you through your headset mic?
No.
Do you have a 421 in front of your 412 cabins as well? Just that's a pretty good. There we go. Now we're fucking talking. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go 757, just like that. And we're really looking to go like up, down, up, and have like as uniform as you can. And then we're gonna go 5, 7, 5 like this. And our 5 is gonna be on the string below it now. So we'll start on the A string. That's what we'll start to. So 1 down from the top, 7, 5, 7. And then we're gonna go 5 on the D string, 7 on the A string, 5 on the D string. So it's gonna go like this. So it goes do 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 ya da da, like that. So it's going, and my picking is always going to go, once I start on the upstroke, I'm going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, the whole way. And now if we start on an upstroke, every time we switch strings, our pick will actually be going like this. We'll be going up, down, up in between the strings, as opposed to on the outsides of them. So there's some sort of, fucking signs here. So we're going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, just like that. I don't know if you can see that okay. I think that's probably the best angle like that for you. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We're just going to do the first 6, though. First 6 will go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So do you go to the...
I'm going 7, 5, 7, high string D5, back to the A string 7, high string D5.
And then 7 again after the 7?
So we're just going to do the first 6. So we'd have this. It's a total tongue twister for your fingers. Why not broadcast it live on the internet? So it's gonna go do da do ya da da.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. That's it right there. So you want to get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it kind of feels like this. And you'll see my pick is doing nothing exciting. So that's a great one to work on. It's a big time coordination one where your hands have to like kind of play in sync with each other. So as soon as you do it once, you da do da da da, then you move this guy down, you do it again, do da do da da da, and you can do it 3 times in a row. So you can go. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Play it one more time.
Okay, so I'm gonna go
Yeah, third.
7 5 7, 5 7 5, and then this guy here's down here on the D string, and I just go to here and go goo da do da da da. I just move down a set of strings again. You can do all sorts of tricks with it, all sorts of fancy dancy tricks. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? So that's the idea, and that's one way to get around to scale. Another one that, do you know the pentatonic scale like this? That is like your absolute lifeblood. Let's slow down a bit here. So we don't need to do a whole scale there. That little box is really great. Your entire world of soloing on the guitar, your entire world is getting back to the root. So if you could control that, I could make it so then like the next time you see a friend with a guitar, you will you will be able to control your solo. And by controlling your solo, I mean like you won't just be playing shit. You won't just be like whatever, like noodling through a scale. I don't know how many years somebody would be like, "Hey Troy, solo something," and like an archer in the frickin' dark, just trying to hit my target. I'm just going. Just hoping to God. And the worst part is, every once in a while I go like this. And then my friends would be like, wow, that was super sick how you ended that solo. And I'm like, I have no idea what I did at all. So that was the worst, is because it would sound kind of bad, and then it would sound good, and then I had no control. So here's the control. We're going to solo in A minor, and we're going to reference all of our notes from our low E string here for a long time. And we're going to go like this. So there it is right there. It's on our low E string. We're going to go down 2 strings. We're going to go to the A string on the 7th fret. Right there. So grab that guy there. Go ahead. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Did you hit it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear you. There it is. It's beautiful. It sounds great. Okay, so 7 here. We're going to have this. We're going to have 5, 7, and then the exact bottom string right below it. 5, 7 again. So it's going to go 5, 7, 5, 7. Sounds like this. Just like that. Can you hear that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going 5, 7, then on the string right below it. So it goes D string to G string. Ya-da-da-da. That's going to be our 4 notes that we're starting with. Just like that. So dot do dot do. So we're going 5 7 5 7. Try it again. I might have just had your last note maybe cut off there. Is there any chance you can just turn your guitar up a tiny bit? It's like it's almost catching in your mic almost all the time, but not quite. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So we're gonna go just like this. We're gonna go 5 7 5 7. Gorgeous. And we're gonna call that 1 2 3 4. Okay, 1 2 3 4. So our 2 note will resolve all your phrases. I used to absolutely hate that. People would always say to me, oh, that's the resolutions here, and the resolution. Forget that. Think of it this way. If I go like this with my voice, da-da-da-da, that didn't resolve. That's the end of it. That's not the key of the song. That can't be. A key of a song can't do that. If I go ya-da-da-da, ba-da-da, that last little da is your root. That's your resolution. So it feels like the answer to a question. So if I phrase with those four notes, one, two, three, four, by the way, I could rock those all day long and have a great time and not feel like I need more shit. I could come up with all sorts of rhythmic phrases, different ideas with just those four notes, like all day long. You don't need a bunch of other spots. Although you can find these four notes in a bunch of other places really, really quick after a while. So all I care about is my root. So my root's right here. So check it out. If I do a phrase, like if we have a conversation and I ask you like 30 questions in a row, by like question 7, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable in here. What'd you do today? What's your favorite color? What are you having for dinner? You're just going to be like, I'm done with this conversation. But if I go question and you give an answer, and then you say like a statement, and then I ask another question, and you give a quick answer, and then you have a long question for me, and then I do a short question, it'll flow like kind of organically. You know, if I just sit here and ramble on for 20 minutes, everybody would get bored. But if we kind of go back and forth, then it's just like a conversation. So if I'm playing and I don't end on this root, this guy here, that number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are only notes we're going to play. If I don't end on that note, it's going to feel like some level of tension of like a question. So check it out. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to have a conversation with like a 4-year-old. It's going to be like, how are you? Good. What did you do today? Nothing. Like, it's just going to be question, answer. And it's going to sound like I know how to play the guitar. Like, it's going to sound like I have control of it. So check it out. There's my answer note right there. Oh, I cheated. I got total control. I'm having a good time. I'm not thinking about it. I'm like thinking I should have maybe ate something before this. That's all I'm thinking about. There's no brainwaves in my head at all. I'm just having a good time. I know that, and after a while, what happens is you start to get to know what these notes sound like really well. So you've got these 4 right here. I could play with the rhythm of it. I could play with 2 notes. Just like that, and I have total control over it. And I can choose how long I want my phrase to be. I can do a little short answer. I can do a really long, drawn-out question. Like that. I think, is there enough of a delay on Discord? Like, can I play and can I go like this? And can you like play to that? I don't know if there's too much. I probably could if I just.
No,
it's pretty awkward. It's pretty awkward to play together, I think, right?
It's directly on. Yeah.
Oh, is it? No, is there no delay? There's delay. Okay, well, what if I go like this? Clap when my fingers snap. That's how we could test it.
4, 5, 6, 7 times.
Like, can you count them?
1, 2.
Holy shit! Is there no delay on Discord? Usually that would put you like half a second behind, right? Like I'd be like snap, and then you'd be like 1, and in your screen it's like we're right on. Is there no delay? Okay, so if I'm playing like this, then you want to treat your guitar like it's the vocalist. So just try that. And you know what? You're going to do a whole lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2. Just end on 2 whenever you want to do like a resolution. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking sweet that we have no delay. I had no idea. I knew Discord was the best for no delay. I didn't realize it was none, though, on the video. So all you're going to do is just going to treat your guitar like, and remember, you're 2. If you land on the 2, it's going to resolve. So you go boodle-a-dee, boodle-a-da. Space is good. Changing the duration of your notes is good. I'll just go for it. So just play for 5 minutes here or so. Does that kind of make sense? That's sort of making sense? So you kind of change it, or you kind of... Oh, and I froze on the screen there too. See, of course it did, right? Of course.
I wasn't saying nothing.
That's not the best freeze either. Let's just do this. What if I just do that for right now? If I just kind of can that. Just for right now. Okay, and then I'll boot it back up in a second here. Maybe it'll be unfrozen. Just maybe. Anyway, so what you do is you kind of treat it like a conversation. So you'd have like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2. So I just end on not 2, and then I end on 2. I could make a quick question like this, like and then like a quick answer too if I want to. I could do like a longer question, and then like a longer answer. Until I land on that 2, your ears are kind of just like in limbo, looking to see if I'm going to do that or not. I want to show my camera back. Can we get it back? Can you just not be frozen? Can that be a thing we can do? Is that a thing we can do? I didn't touch anything, I swear. I didn't touch anything. It just froze on its own. Okay, well, I'll leave it like that. That's all I can do. Okay, does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I'd start by adding like little in-between notes. So if we've got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot of students, what I'll do is the first 2 seconds that they sit in the room, we'll check our tuning and we'll like shoot the shit for 1 second, and then right away we'll just drop right into that. We'll just drop. Man, I don't know what's going on with this thing. That's so silly. It's like the most tilting thing ever. This camera just stopped. Anyway, so yeah, that's the idea. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say we add in a note between 3 and 4. That'd be like your most forever used kind of. It's not a blue note, but it's got a real like. If you were to land on that note hard, the one that's, let's call it like 4.5. Let's call it 3.5. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. If you just land right on it, it's gonna be rough. Like it's gonna sound very aggressive. Like if I just stick it like this, it's gonna have a real like bite to it. But if I use it as a passing tone like this, so I just go like, I just went fret number 5, 6, 7, then it's kind of slick, just like that.
Okay.
Does that sort of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can fix that camera real quick here. That's so silly, man. What?
Kind of use that as more of like a, I don't know if it'd be
It would literally be called a passing tone. Like you'd be one that you'd want to go by in a manner of like just kind of zipping past it. Holy cow. Holy cow, now what have I done? There we go. You should be popping back up here pretty soon. There you are. Okay. So that's the idea, is that you can kind of go through this. Yeah, man, I'm not even doing anything wrong and this camera's just being a jerk, you know? Like, what do you do? You know, like I didn't touch anything. I didn't touch it. Okay, so we've got ourselves that guy there. So you can kind of go through. Your goal is just to place that root note where you feel it should be. So ideally, you hear something like this is kind of like your typical jazz musician experience. I don't know if you're watching the stream as well as you can see my left hand here.
I have to.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, so what you can do is somebody would play something like this. And what you want to do as a musician is you want to kind of hear that and go like, think of like what would be the best vocal line you could play. So you want to treat your instrument like it's basically going to sing. And you're going to go, okay, well, maybe something like, would be like a typical kind of vocalist. There's my root, so I can end it right there. So then I've got something like this. And I'm going. And then what I could do is I could kind of look for that in different spots. I could say, okay, well, what if I played it higher? What if I started here? And the way I can do that is purely because of just kind of knowing where the notes are after time. So the way you get it so you know where these notes are is you start with like 4. You start with 1, 2, 3, 4. And what will happen is after a while, If I was going 1, 2, 3, 4 with the notes going la da da da, that would be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds like this. I know you're basically going off audio. So 1, 2, 3, 4 would sound like this. That's with the root note just plowing right in the center there, right on the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going like 5, 7, 5, 7, D string to G string. And so I'm going. So if I went la da da da, what would it sound like? Could you sing it if I went 1, 2, 3, 2? Could you sing what that would sound like? 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What would it sound like if I went 1, 2, 3, 2? The 2 is going to resolve it. So I'll just kind of sing it for you. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 2. So you can imagine that that's like a completely different freaking world than, hey, Kyle, here's a scale. Good luck, bro. Like what every other guitar teacher teaches. No kidding. It's a total piece of shit. Is how that's because I was that guy for like 10 plus years where they'd be like, go ahead, solo. And I'd be like, I know 80 scales. I'd pick one of them and just make just a mess out of the whole thing. So the best thing you can do as a guitar player, period, is transcribe sounds that you hear in your head onto your instrument no matter how long they take, or even songs that you know that if you get it wrong, it's going to really punish you. Like if we were doing like Happy Birthday on your guitar, pick any note. That's the key here, is picking any note and not feeling like there's a wrong place to start. Like if I did Happy Birthday and I went da 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 da, how many of those notes were the same? How many of those notes were higher? How many of those notes were lower? So if I went da da, that's the same pitch twice in a row, which can really mess you up. Like sometimes you don't think it was the same pitch twice in a row. So you'd have like that. And then what's my third note? Is my third note higher or lower than those two? Da 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 da. Higher, right? So then I'm going like, and then we go even higher. La da 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 da. And of course I'm not here teaching singing lessons, but da 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 da, right? And then it goes higher than all of the notes. Like that. So after a while, you start taking these scales that have these flavors, and these flavors kind of color what notes you're choosing to take. Can you figure out the next part? Holy shit! Holy shit! We got Mozart over here. Okay, yeah, there you go. Now, can you find the high note? Da da da. It's a really wacky note choice. Da da da. That's a toughie.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Right? It's a weird note.
Yeah.
Da da da. It's like a. Yeah, it's way, way up there.
I would like to hate it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got it, and then. Something like that. I don't know if I had that exactly right. It's been a long day. Anyway, so that's it. You start with those 4 notes. You could go on YouTube. The word you're looking for is backing track. The backing tracks will have like everything but guitar, and you could look up like A minor rock or blues, whatever you want. A minor adult contemporary backing track, whatever you're looking for. So you can look up like A minor rock backing track, and then it'll just play stuff like this. It'll play canned generic things in A minor. We haven't really went over what that means, but it's going to play chords that are all friends with each other, that all cooperate with these notes. And then your goal is just to mess around with those 4 notes a lot, like for hours. So you can just kind of play around with them. You'll get like a couple of tricks. Leaving space is kind of valuable. Like if I went like this. Another thing I keep doing there too that I'm not really talking about is I keep bending. Oh shit, I just kicked my light over. That was sweet. That was awesome. Just a sec here. Is for bending. Here, you can try this while I fix this light. If I'm on the G string, let's say we're going 7th fret on the G string. We could play that note on the 7th fret on the G string right here. And then we could slide to the 9th fret like this.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bend the 7th fret. Yeah, to sound like that 9th fret. So it sounds like the same slide that we just did, but we're bending it. Just like that. You hear that's the same note? When I do it right. And you can do that all over the neck. All your strings are different gauges, so they're going to respond a little bit differently. Should I grab this light here? So happily kicked over and broke and fixed. There we go. Fine. All right. Well, that's pretty brutal that this camera died. It didn't really die. I know that I could plug it in and replug it in and it would work, but it would mess up my other camera. Well, shit. Anyway, I've taught lessons before with just audio, so you'll be fine. So that's the idea with 1, 2, 3, 4. Those guys there is you really want to get that down, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then think of what it would sound like if you went 1, 2, 1, 2, da do da do. Just kind of build everything around that second note, that root note. What the heck? I don't know why that camera's not working. That really pisses me off. It's like yeah, I don't know. I'm debating whether I want to try to fix that camera or not. You know, it was like a cheapy camera that I had like in my stuff, and I was just hoping it would work for this, and it's being a cocksucker. Let's just say it.
Cheap webcam one.
Yeah, I might need to figure that out or see why it won't source both videos. I don't know what the deal is. They're not even like interacting with each other. I've got Discord going, and then I'm just capturing the screen, so it shouldn't be giving me an issue at all. But yeah, that's a good place to start. And then that little that thing that we did, remember the thing that's like 575 757, that thing, this thing? It sits right in front, it sits right inside that 4-note soloing thing too. So if I went like this, I'm going to overuse the heck out of it. It goes like this. So I could do like, let's say I was going like. Like that kind of stuff. And I'm just totally in control of it. All I'm really doing is I'm just kind of pissing around in the theme of landing on that root or not landing on that root. And sometimes I give it space and sometimes I won't. And what I would do is I would encourage you to practice at like a super like really like chill kind of slow tempo. And then I'd also encourage you to practice at like more of like a rocky kind of tempo, like a more upbeat kind of thing, like a. And to be going like. And even little techniques like that was a double stop. So I'm pressing the G and the B string together. And that gives it a nice burn. So that's just my first finger smushing the 5th fret, the G and the B together. Does that kind of make sense? Mm-hmm. And you can do that everywhere on this whole phrase here. Just like that. Anyway, does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Does that give you...
ever change in that box? Like say if
no. Will the answer ever change in that box? Is that your question?
Yeah. So like instead of 5 7 down, what if you moved it down to the bottom and you use the bottom 4 string?
Oh yeah, so that box works there, like that spot that I kind of gave to you there. Here, I'm gonna pull up a neck chart. I wonder if that's something I can do. Can I pull up a neck chart? I can't pull one up to you. Do you have a neck chart around, like on you? Like, can you find one like on your computer or email? Like, I'll email you one right now.
Let me check my email. I know you sent one before.
Okay, let's see here.
Would be the stairway form.
It'll look like a. Here, I'll show you here. Got my phone like in the middle of the stream, just sitting there. Okay, one sec. I'll send you a neck chart. What am I looking for? Oh, I have it here. I can sense it. This thing here. Do you want? I'll send it to you on Facebook. Would that be easiest?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to send it to you in Discord message?
Oh wait, I got it right here.
Yeah.
First fret, third fret, fifth fret, 7, 8.
Okay. So check this guy out here. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the guy there. Yeah. my thing hates what you're trying to do there. Yeah. So if you look at that, the notes you're playing there are A, G, C, D, right?
Okay. Yep.
And you'll see that kind of kitty corner to that. If we looked at 8, 10 on the high E and D string, you'd have those guys there. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So that's just another box.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where you could. So you'll hear me do this a lot, and I'm going to keep hunting that root. Is I'll play something like this. Let's say we're playing something chill like that. Then I go. So I just entered that other box. So I'd hang out the one at the 5th fret, and then I'd hang out the one that's 8 and 10. And then there's pretty much one little transition note that I use. So if you look at that 810 box on the E and B string, I put the E note as like kind of like the roof of like a little like if a kid drew a house, you'd have like a little box and then you have like a little roof on it. I don't know if you can see it in the stream there. I don't know if that would help you. Like that guy right there on the 9th fret. So I'm doing 9th on the G string, and then 810 on either side. And that's just a killer note. So I could slide in from the other box right onto that note like this. So I'd be playing over here going like 7-5-7-5. I'll just play like the thing we did before. And then I'd slide to that 9th and I'd just jump right into that other box. That's the same group of notes. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm hanging out with my one group and I've got my root up here. And then it's the same thing over here. And you can kind of find them all over the neck. So those are the two that I kind of group together without thinking. So when you see someone kind of just take a guitar and go like they're going. There's a root right there. Or like a, geez. Like that kind of thing. I'm just hunting those roots, man. So I'm just looking for a note that I know is going to resolve back to where I want to go. And it kind of gives me this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to open this up so I can see my own face. Let's just see here. Just like, I'm going to just change my parameter here. What am I looking for? This will be worth it. It'll be worth it even though we're only a couple more minutes here. Maybe a little longer.
Does that mean you come up here?
Shh, what am I looking for here? Transform. Hit transform. I'm going to make my crop the right. Like 200. There we go. There we go. I got you there. And I'm on the other you can kind of see my face sort of now. I don't know if that's better or worse. But anyway. We're doing things on the fly here. Oh, geez. Oh, sweet Lord. There we go. I'll move this down here. That's going to take forever. I don't know if that's better or not. Let's do that maybe, like that. Okay. All right, yeah, so that's the idea, is that it's kind of, we start off with just going A, G, C, D. And then I add that E that's 2 frets forward on the 9th fret G string. And then I'm sitting right on top of the other ones. Just like that.
Also works up on the first fret too.
Yeah. Anywhere you find those groups, it works. If you start getting bassier, like if you start getting onto the A root string, it kind of pulls energy out of your solo. Like let's say I was going like this, and and then I grab the A and G on the 3rd fret, A G, like 3/5 and 3/5 being the CD. Kind of a tough. It's a tougher sell. People's ears, they hear the bass notes kick in, and they just go right into dreamland. They're just like, I'm ready for a nap.
What would be the G, E, D, B?
If I was on the E and the A string, the top 2 bass notes,
No,
those.
the bottom ones. The bottom ones.
Oh yeah, these 2 here. Yeah, I'd have those guys at the A10, right?
Yeah.
And then I could zip way up the neck if I wasn't playing a Gibson, because I could probably reach it better. I guess I could reach it here. Oh yeah, it's way. Yeah, practically can't get it. But yeah, so that's the idea. So you start with something like that, and then what you do is you get good at bringing the notes around it into the equation. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, like we started at, you're damn right I can bring a note into 3. So if I've got 3 here, that pitch there on the G string, I could reach back 1 fret and just kind of grab it like this. So I'm gonna. Those are my notes that I have. A very surefire, strong. They're strong, safe notes. I can hit all 4 of those till I'm blue in the face. So knowing that, if I want to add more stuff, I could just add it and just know that I'm not going to land on it like this. If I land on it like this, those are going to be out. Like they'll be kind of jazzy. You could use them, but pretty much not. That's pretty much not what you're going for. You're not going to be going like this too often at the campfire. Unless you're at my campfire, and then if you start doing that, I'll start going like this to you. Then we'll have this. Everyone will have to find something special for that. That's not a beer drinking move. That's a different kind of move. Anyway, but the thing is, I think about it this way: you don't really need to know. Then what scales are? Scales are just kind of a way of flavoring the knowledge you already know. So if you know that that's going to be cool, if I add in this note, like my pinky finger, so if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then where my 4 is there on the 7th fret of the G string, I add in like an 8. I know this is kind of tough when you don't have a... I'll make a sheet for you. That's what I'll do. I'll make a sheet. And if I add in another finger, I just know it's going to go like this. So that's if I go 1 past 4. That's got a whole lot of flavor on that note. But if I stick it, if I go... It's going to be really like, ooh, that's like pretty jazzy. Especially against chords. If someone's playing chords like this, and I hit this note here, it's going to be like a real, like, wow, that guy's looking for something offensive, right? So, but if I went, that'd be cool if I went like, those are all cool, right? Our ears are okay with that. Or I could slide into it like this. Like that, so I can work in all these in between notes pretty comfortably. Just takes a little bit of practice to kind of, and it takes a little bit of just knowing that your roots are going to bail you out. Yeah. So the only time the roots aren't going to bail you out is if you're working on a tune that doesn't care about any sort of what's called like in key function. So there's a lot of metal tunes that are doing like this kind of thing, like something like that, where they're just kind of like chugging along and none of the chords are happy, none of the chords are sad. So your ears have a bit of a hard time cutting out what's like good and what's bad. So there's advantages and disadvantages to that. But they still follow the same principle of going after the root. Blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense, Kyle? Do you have any other questions about that? I kind of just rattled your freaking face off there.
No, I understood it as long as you finish on your answer.
Yeah, if you finish on your answer, it'll sound... You can do something like a heinously rambling thing, and you can kind of bail it out with the answer note like every time. Which is kind of weird. The only time it doesn't work, like I said, is if someone's playing chords that aren't friends with each other, which will sound kind of like this. But that shit doesn't go down too often in Utah, I don't think. No one's playing that shit at the campfire.
No.
Or a song that has an innately weird root. Like Sweet Home Alabama, if I was going like this. That song, if I just strum... Oh, it's sounding a little bit fishy on my tuning. If I just strum through that... Wait, I might want to check that in a second here. If I strum through, if I go D, C, G... Yeah, that G's a little out of tune. Back to the D. Do you feel that D doesn't have a real "we're at home, boy, that was so strong" kind of feeling? It kind of feels like it just wants to wander into C, kind of like it wanders into G. It feels like it just keep going. Oh, I just got a new subscriber. Holy shit. On YouTube. It went from 24 to 25 right in front of me. Let's see if they're going to take it back. Anyway, so if I go D, then I go to C, then I go to G, back to D. It's kind of a wimpy home. It's like your ears aren't totally resolved. And that's when you know somebody's using like out of key chords. In fact, that whole guitar solo of that song is wildly out of key. And it's a gorgeous, beautiful guitar solo. And it doesn't even matter that it's out of key. The reason it doesn't matter is because the root note doesn't have a hard pull on it. So your ears are never really fully satisfied on like that's finished. And that song, how do you end a song like that, Kyle? What do you think? How do you end that? You fucking fade that sucker out. You just play it forever and you just turn that thing down in the studio. That's how. You don't end it. You don't even deal with it. You just don't even have to end it. Anyway, so go ahead.
The one that Slash started out is a practice song. The one I had you teach me.
Sweet Child of Mine?
Yeah. So is that just the E, A, D, C? It just kind of follows the whole...
Kind of.
Minus the G?
Like, is that doing a 4-note solo? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that one feels...
Kind of. That song is in key, if that's what you're kind of asking. It's definitely in key. So by in key, it's definitely going to... I'm really choked. My little camera's not working. It's because I can't have one conversation at a time, right? Yeah, so that song is in key. And what that means is that they're doing things where your ears happily resolve back. Like, it's something like... I don't know if this is exactly right, but it's something like... She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories and everyone crazy like a brand new sky. Now and then, like, it clearly has like a successful, happy landing on the root finish. And your ears are very happy for it to kick in again. So that would be like a very in-key song. So you could do a solo like that pretty easily. And you'll hear him going like, and your ears now, like over this next week, are going to be just grabbing roots. You're going to hear like a Linkin Park tune, and it's going to go like, and home, and you're going to be like, oh, that's the root. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what letter it is or whatever. Your ability to identify it is all that matters. Because if I told you, oh, this song's in the key of this, we're going to have a couple of starting scales that'll give you like a position to start with. And then we just move those scales around to like, as you know, if it's over here, the guitar is the best instrument for this reason right here. Is that if I'm playing this lick, and then you said, hey, Troy, could you do that? That's cool, but we're playing in D. I just shift down the neck, man. It's like there's no brain waves that happen there at all in my head. It's just, whoop. You say that to a good piano player, like a good one. Like, oh, we're going to play in D. And then you're like, actually, we should do it in C sharp. That's like a freaking, you just spun that guy on his head. Like, there's piano keys that I'm really terrible in. And I've played piano a lot. But if somebody says certain keys, I've watched good piano players, like good ripping, let's go for beers after this gig piano players, like seasoned guys. You put them in a different spot on their instrument, it's a totally different world, man. A lot harder. So suddenly they're scrambling all these black keys when before they had this run on the white keys or something, you know? Just different kind of thing. Anyway, I'm sure there's some metaphor in there that's... I'm not going to say it. Anyway, so it's like, that's the idea, is that you can kind of... the guitar this is really trainable in the sense that if I like a lick, I could like play it potentially over anything. Like if I was playing a song in B minor, which sounds like this, I could just drop in. Troy, if I could actually play. Like in a different... I could just drop it in a different key. Just put it wherever you'd like. Might sound a little fishy, but you could take that lick and just put it somewhere just to be cute. You know, like there's some solos, like I had this one solo, I didn't really know how to end it, and I'm thinking of ending it like this. Because it would fit, like the Papa Roach lick. Just because it would work over this one song that we have. Just because it'd be kind of funny. Because the drums just start going, badant, badant, badant. And I was like, oh man, if I just laid down some Papa Roach right now, that'd be sick. And I'd probably boost myself 3 times before I did it too. Flick, flick, flick. Okay, this is perfect. Should I let you go, Kyle? What do you think? We good there?
Yeah.
I'll write down everything we're doing, and I'll make a little sheet for you. That'd be kind of cool. Thanks for being my guinea pig and putting up with the 1 hour of technical difficulties as my camera's continuing to search for itself.
That's my favorite part.
Oh yeah, it's just great. Yeah, it's super fun. Alrighty, man. I'll catch you later. Were you looking to game a little bit later, or what do you think?
Yeah, just message me whenever I'm available.
I guess you're up, eh? Yeah, you're on. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take an hour or so, and I'll jump back on.
Sweet.
Alright, man. I'll see you later.
All right, later.
Have a good night. I'll catch you soon. All right. Thanks for everybody for for hanging out. I had like a great face shot that the camera it's just not working right now, so I'm not sure what to do. Anyway, thanks so much for coming by the stream. I might do a little bit of Fortnite a little bit later. So thanks again. I might play just for a few minutes here just to wind the thing down, you know. All right. Alrighty, have yourself a great night. See you later. Oh, jeez.